the fact that brass knuckles are being used
I didn't believe the kids told me that.
in these attacks elevates it even more. When we were kids growing up, and most of you would probably agree, thank you both very much, by the way, you know, two kids would square off under the bleachers after school or, on the football field. Maybe a few kids would watch, and that would be it. Maybe they'd even shake hands afterwards. Now you have 7 or 8 or 9 on one, picking on it, one kid, surrounding that kid. Somebody's got brass knuckles. In some cases, maybe there's a gun involved. And then, as if that's not bad enough, we're putting it up on social media for the world to see. And until, I think, and we'll get into this, until these social media platforms like TikTok and Snapchat are meant to take accountability and culpability, they have blood on their hands, and legislation should be passed.
All right, now we want to go to 12 News journalist Tram Mai. She's in our audience. Tram?
Yeah, we've got Ann, who runs a Facebook group called Go Gilbert when you talk about social media. Ann, tell us what Go Gilbert is for those who are not familiar, and also what have you observed recently?
So Go Gilbert is a Facebook group with about 100,000 members, and it's a good snapshot or pulse of what's going on in the community, the East Valley, and especially Gilbert. So one thing that we've noticed since everything happened, since Preston the Lord case, and as well as other teen violence, is when posts are made about Preston Lord, the community is appalled, they're sad, they're angry. It makes me cry. It's just, so it's one of those things that the community wants answers, so you understand it. But one thing that we also notice is running the group, because it's a closed group, so all the posts have to be approved, is what happens among members. So some of the things that we see makes me really believe that kids are seeing this kind of behavior in their own homes. It was mentioned before that it might be from a broken home that these kids are coming from, but the things that we see on the back end of running the Facebook group is that these are attorneys, these are professionals that we're having to monitor because they're making threats to other members in the group. One example is we had someone screenshot, she had made a post about rescuing a dog, like what could be wrong with that? And then some member who happened to be a local attorney reached out to her and said that she was every kind of name in the book, and he hoped that she or her kind should be eradicated off the face of the earth. And he hopes that her and her family's 2024 is devastating. So when you hear this, and this happens over and over, it's that bullying that we talked about, and it's honestly like that mob mentality, because you'll see people put posts and comments will come, and one person says something negative and then other people jump on it because they think it's okay. But I think as community members, we need to understand that our kids are watching this. They're watching. We might not think that they are, but they understand that it's okay to react. It's okay
because it's their parents.
100%. And that this attorney, he has kids, because it's easy. You go to their profile, you're like, what is going on? Why is that disconnect? How can you expect your kids to act one way, but you're doing the exact opposite and not be able to put 2 and 2 together? Like, it blows my mind. Another quick example is we'll get comments, I'll do videos or things like that, and someone said, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. And I'm fine with that. And I looked at the video and I said, that was kind of annoying. I mean, but then you go back and look at this person's profile, their cover picture, and it's like, be the change in the world you want to see. Love one another.
How ironic.
And it was like, namaste. And it's like, that's the disconnect that it's so hypocritical that I'm wondering, are we so unaware? We just don't care about self-awareness that we think that's okay and no one else is going to notice. So we can make a difference. Social media, if you see something that you don't like, because it happens to me, someone will post something, my palms get sweaty, my heart starts racing, and that's the exact time I know, put the keyboard away. Now's not the time to react. And if we all could just take a breath, that would make all the difference. And then it would be a great example for our kids too.
Think before you post.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a great point. Look, I'm in the public eye, been an elected official for 7 years. And when I teach these kids, I ask them, do you get bullied? And of course they know that bullying exists. And I said, would you believe I get bullied? People may say the worst things to me. Anytime you rise in the public eye, they say the worst things to you. And they're all adults, is what I tell them. Mm-hmm. Every one of them that comes on my page and says something negative, even when we made arrests on a case for an assault involving, there was still people that were negative towards it. And here's my advice to anybody out there. If you don't like what you see on social media, pass it on by. Yeah. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Stop saying negative stuff if it doesn't have anything to do with you.
We're going to bring Bianca Bono back in. Obviously, the Preston Lord case is what brought this issue to light in the East Valley. That's why we're here tonight. But teen violence is happening all over. Bianca, we want to hear from the rest of our panel.
Yeah, and we're here, of course, to talk to you, Bishop, about how widespread this issue is. Do you have a really unique perspective, particularly about what's been going on maybe in parts of the West Valley? We'd love to hear you talk about that.
Thank you. So we, as the NAACP State Conference, we're looking at the whole state. So I'm originally the president of the West Valley NAACP, and as the West Valley, we understand what's going on with the Lord family, and our heart goes out to all the kids that's being affected. But we also have mothers that's crying in Maryville. We have mothers that's crying in Surprise. A young lady is asleep in her bed, minding her own business, and she's the victim of gun violence. We have kids that have been found in cars in Surprise. From what we understand, that child was not involved in anything, but gets killed in a drive-by shooting. So what we look at is, what are the aspects of what we're doing with our youth? It says it takes a village to raise a child. Well, where's the village? Right now, this room should be standing room only with pastors, community leaders, store owners. If you have any stake in the community, if my kid comes to you and buys a pretzel and a pop from Quick Trip and you own it, you should be in this audience, because kids need to know that they are safe somewhere along the line. Pastors, I don't care if the family does not belong to your church. You're still in that community. Why are we not there? Because once again, you cannot have a child if an educator tells me that a child is not cognitively able to rationally think about what we do as adults. Then why do you on the other side consider them take care of their own business? We can't have it both ways. So when we talk about social media is one of the biggest victims. We call it the intranut, because people get on the internet and nut up, grown and not grown. So when you talk about what is needing to be done, I think when you start hitting people's pockets, people start listening to you. Meta, we need to hit your pockets. TikTok, I don't care if you're in China, you got American-based companies that need to hit your pockets. There is no reason for me to look at my hometown in Detroit, Michigan, and see a gun violence happen in real time, and people are glorifying it. That is unacceptable by any means. So when we look at it, the village, where is the village? Your next door neighbor is the village. Mayor, thank you for being here. My West Valley mayor should be here. It doesn't say that, well, West Valley's not happening. Yes, it is. We just had 2 teenagers get killed a couple of months ago in gun violence. In Avondale, in Goodyear, in Buckeye, in Surprise. So the same mothers and fathers that's crying to this violence in Maryville, we're responsible all the way across the board. There should be orange shirts, blue shirts, green shirts, red shirts, no shirts. I don't care how you come, just show up. Because we can't change anything if we don't be here. And when people on social media, them keyboard cowards that like to post all that crap behind the scenes, come see me. Let's talk face to face, see how this works. The only way change is going to occur is when change stands up and says no more. We're tired of our kids dying. Bullies, I hate bullies. That's why I stepped into this role. Now, you talk about, Sheriff, you talk about being bullied. I know my Facebook page is going to light up tonight. Come on with it. I got enough backup to keep me happy.
And we're starting to talk to